She was a wonderful girl with a wonderful smile.
Jewel Brangman of San Diego was one of 24 people worldwide who have been killed by exploding Takata airbags, which have since been recalled. Action News Investigates spoke to her father.
It severed the carotid artery in her neck and it killed her. It's something that should never happen because it's preventable.
This 2008 Chevrolet Avalanche and this 2012 Ford Fusion had open recalls for Takata airbags when Action News Investigates found them for sale at car dealerships owned by Congressman Mike Kelly. They were among 17 vehicles with unrepaired safety recalls offered for sale at Kelly dealerships in early March, 9 in Uniontown and 8 in Butler. Action News Investigates found the recall records on a National Highway Traffic Safety Administration online database that tracks recalls by individual vehicle identification numbers and is updated weekly. Also for sale, this 2014 Chrysler 300 and this 2015 Jeep Wrangler that both have a non-Takata airbag inflator recall. NHTSA says these inflators could also explode, resulting in injury or death. Action News Investigates made multiple requests to interview Kelly with calls and emails to his spokesman and chief of staff at his congressional office. We even sent pictures of some recalled vehicles, but Kelly refused to respond to our questions. So Action News Investigates went to his Butler used car lot, where a salesman approached us. We wanted to find out why this lot's selling cars with active recalls.
Well, we don't do that. I'm not making any comment on it.
We saw about 8 cars that were for sale recently that had active recalls from this lot.
I'm not making any comment right now. I don't think we are, but thanks.
Later, Kelly's spokesman referred us to his son, Brendan, who is operator of Mike Kelly Automotive. Brendan Kelly emailed a statement saying the dealerships will not sell any vehicle that is in violation of a federal or state law, and we abide by the sales and service agreements for all car franchises. On Tuesday, weeks after Action News Investigates first contacted Kelly, we checked the NHTSA recalls database again. Recalls were corrected for 7 of the 17 vehicles that were for sale last month, including the Chrysler with the airbag recall. 4 cars no longer listed for sale on Kelly's website still had open recalls. There were 3 cars still for sale with open recalls. No repair was available yet for 3 of the recalled vehicles, including the Avalanche that had a Takata airbag. Rosemary Shahan is president of Consumers for Auto Reliability and Safety. Action News Investigates asked her about the recalled vehicles on Kelly's lots.
That is tremendously dangerous and irresponsible.
Action News Investigates asked auto mechanic Mike Wega, owner of a repair shop in Scott Township, to review details of the recalls on the cars for sale at Kelly's dealerships in March. Should cars with some of these problems be sold?
Again, if it's a critical safety issue, no, they should be fixed before they're sold.
Would you say these are all critical safety issues?
Most of them on there appear to be critical safety.
I would like to yield 2 minutes to my good friend and fellow auto dealer, the gentleman from Pennsylvania, Mr. Kelly.
Kelly had plenty to say about recalls in November 2015 when he spoke in favor of a bill that would have allowed car dealers to rent or loan vehicles even if they were subject to safety recalls.
There's not a single person in our business that would ever put one of our owners in a defective car or a call with a recall. I said, well, wait, but that could happen. That could happen.
Kelly's effort failed in Congress, but last year Pennsylvania passed a new law specifically allowing dealers to sell cars with open recalls, as long as they are disclosed to buyers. Pennsylvania's new law allowing the sale of recalled vehicles was backed by auto dealers. Consumer groups opposed it, saying the recall disclosures may get lost in the reams of paperwork you have to sign when buying a car. Consumer advocates, including Jewel Brangman's father, say Pennsylvania is now allowing more dangerous cars on the road.
Well, personally, I think it's appalling.
Alexander Brangman lobbied against the Pennsylvania law, writing this letter to Governor Wolf.
This was a preventable tragedy that claimed Jewel's life. That bill is going to set forth and put a lot of lives in danger in the area of Pennsylvania and surrounding areas.
Action News Investigates asked the Pittsburgh Auto Dealers Association about the Pennsylvania law. Their CEO referred us to the top attorney for the State Dealers Association and the board chairman of the Pittsburgh Dealers Group. Neither one of them returned our multiple requests for comment. The dealers backed the bill, but auto manufacturers opposed it. In this letter to Wolf, General Motors says that the provisions that allow for sale of a used vehicle with an unrepaired safety recall with a simple notice raise significant safety concerns. Consumer groups say Pennsylvania and Tennessee are the only states with such a law. Similar bills were rejected in Virginia, Maryland, New Jersey, New York, Massachusetts, Oregon, and Illinois.
It's passing the liability on to the victims, the consumers, and it makes riding on the road more dangerous for everyone.
A spokesman for Governor Wolf tells me he signed the recall bill because consumers still have the right to sue if there's a crash related to an unrepaired recall. But he says Wolf is willing to revisit the law if he learns that that provision does not prevent the sale of unsafe vehicles. Mike?
All right, Paul, now that we know this, how can we protect ourselves as consumers going out and buying a car?
Well, experts tell me when you're shopping for a car, you should do the exact same thing we did. You get the vehicle identification number on the car you'd like to buy, then you run it through the federal government's recall database at safercar.gov to see if there are any open recalls.
One extra step. Paul, thank you.
Okay.